I never liked Overwatch 2, and it's not because I don't like Overwatch, even though that's kind of part of it. I don't like Overwatch 2 because Overwatch 2 is just Overwatch 1.1. It is such an incremental update. It did not need a new release. It was really dumb that they did this. I really don't like that they made it a whole other thing. Like, unironically, Overwatch 2 is just a slight lighting change, at least from my perspective. It has ray tracing now. That's pretty much what they've done with the game. There's no new maps. Actually, in fact, the game launched with less maps than Overwatch 1. They couldn't even port the maps over. So they made this whole new thing. Overwatch 2 is going to be huge, right? And they don't even port the maps over. They ported like some of them, but not most of them, and the game launched with less maps than Overwatch 1. It was supposed to be a brand new experience with new everything, but no, it was just Overwatch 1.1. That is Overwatch 2. I think the biggest reason they did it was because now it's free to play and everyone could, join in and play the game. And I'm not really opposed to that. I just don't like that it was, a whole different game. I also don't like the loot boxes being removed. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't like loot boxes a whole lot. I don't like being forced to gamble for cosmetics. But you know what I don't like more? I don't like never getting any fucking drops, okay? Because that's what the new one does. That's what the new one does. You get no drops in Overwatch 2. You don't get anything. The loot boxes at least made me feel like I was progressing towards something, okay? And since those have been removed, the game is honestly a lot less fun. I still enjoy it. I'm not like super into it though. I used to like playing it competitively, but like I just don't care about that anymore because it's not very fun to play competitively if you don't have a full team. Because if you don't have a full team and you play competitive, it's basically just, if you lose, it's probably your team's fault. And I agree when it comes to games, it's best to look at like what you can improve if you want to like get good at the game, but I don't care that much about getting good at Overwatch. So if I'm losing and it's my team's fault and I can't do anything about it, I'm just gonna not play the game. I'll just play CS2 when that comes down, okay? I'm way more interested in that game. Or I'll play like Hunt Showdown or something, because I'm actually great at that game. I'm cracked at that game. But Overwatch 2 is a lackluster sequel. It is not really a sequel, as I said earlier. It is Overwatch 1.1. But what did Blizzard do recently that is utterly stupid? Well, they removed the PvE co-op from Overwatch 2. Like, the biggest reason why this game was a thing, like PvE co-op was the reason Overwatch 2 was Overwatch 2. And they didn't even have it ready on launch, and now they're just straight up canceling it, okay? It's just gone. It was gonna have this whole story mode, which I thought was really interesting, but no, now it's just gonna be like a few missions. It's just overall not what they promised. They said this would be a thing. They're like, hey guys, PvE co-op, that's why we're making Overwatch 2. This game's gonna exist because we want to do PvE co-op. We want to make the best thing we can. And what do? They cancel it. They cancel the only reason they made a goddamn sequel. What are these companies doing? They have billions of dollars coming in, and they can't make a PvE co-op. For real? Come on, dude. And I was actually excited for the PvE co-op because PvE is really fun, and there's not many games that do it and do it well. Like, I think the last PvE co-op mode that came out that was, like, really good that I can remember as being good was TF2 Man vs. Machine. But I also don't play a lot of PvE co-op because there's not a lot of options. Maybe there's a better game that I haven't played or game mode that I haven't played. But Man vs. Machine is probably the most recent example of like a really good PvE co-op thing. I played that a lot. Even friends who didn't play TF2 at the time, they got into it because it was just a really good game mode, and TF2 characters are, in my opinion, superior to Overwatch players as a whole. A little side tangent, but I still think TF2 is better than Overwatch and always has been. You can fight me in the comments if you disagree, but I am right and you are wrong. But the TF2 PvE was like a really good example of how to do PvE right. And Blizzard said, oh, TF2 PvE, that's great. We're just gonna cancel ours. I just don't get it. What are these devs doing? And I understand that it's not always the devs' fault, right? But this game has always been lacking content. Overwatch has always had a content drought problem. It is a miracle people still play this game because the fan base really just wants new content, but they can't add it. They also stack their content updates in the weirdest ways. Like, there are way too many options for DPS and not nearly enough for tanks or support. Just add more heroes that people actually want to play. It is quite literally your job. Your job is to make a game that people want to play and to update it so people keep playing it. That is quite literally the job. The job you have signed up for when you made this game. And the PvE was also the only reason I really wanted to even play Overwatch 2. And I played the Halloween event, I think it was. And I had fun with that. That was a fun experience, but it's gone. I can't play it anymore because it was an event. And then it's like, why don't you guys just make the PvE co-op that you said would come out when the game came out? And wasn't this game actually already delayed? One second. Yeah, this game was already delayed. So you delayed Overwatch 2, right? You delayed the release of this game. And then you release it finally without the selling feature that you said was the reason this game exists, and then you just cancel the reason this game exists. You just cancel the PvE co-op mode. Why did you guys even fucking put dev time into this shit if it was never gonna release? I'm just so confused. Like, this would probably help Overwatch a lot if they actually came out with the PvE mode, because like, who the hell's playing Overwatch now? Like, really, like, who's still playing Overwatch? Like, what are the Twitch numbers? Hold up. What are the Twitch numbers? Okay, so Overwatch has 22,000 people watching. It's not doing the worst, but at its peak, I remember Overwatch being streamed by like XQC and everybody, and it having like a couple 100,000. Like, Overwatch was like a extremely popular game, and I can't believe they fumbled the bag so hard. It's also shitty because now I'm worried about like new releases. Like, is Diablo 4 gonna be terrible? Should I even bother? I haven't played Diablo 3, right? But I am interested in 4. I want to try it, and I like trying the new games because I am a graphics whore. But it's like, are you guys just gonna botch the fuck out of that one too? Are you gonna like forget features that the community wanted for years? Like, I don't know, man. I've talked about this before, but I feel like game companies in general have gotten a lot worse. Like, modern gaming as a whole for like AAA companies has gotten utterly shit. Like, I don't know what it is, but like, these publishers cannot get dev teams to make the games. And I don't really think it's the dev team's fault in most cases. I think it really is the publishers pushing like the deadlines and stuff. Like, Halo Infinite, for example, was a development disaster. Like, it is a miracle the game came out as good as it did. Just no content, which is unfortunate, because from what I understand, they hired contractors every 6 months, but it took a contractor approximately like 3 to 4 months to learn the engine for Halo Infinite. So they would spend 3 months learning the engine and then only 3 months actually making the game, and then they'd restart the process. And if you guys aren't familiar with coding, and don't worry, I'm not very much either, but when somebody else writes code, if you didn't write that code and you're trying to edit that code, it's not easy. So you have contractors coming in, and then half the time they're there, they're just learning the engine, and the other half is actually doing work. I don't know why 343 did that and didn't just hire full-time devs. I really don't understand that, because I am sure that this has costed them way more money in the long term than it would have just to hire people to do the fucking job. And I think this has been happening in general everywhere. It's like there's a lot of like really, really heavy optimization on revenue, and it's just hurting products in general. And games have been getting hit extra hard with this. Like, the cycle is publisher cheaps out. Devs are now contractors, not full-time employees. Dev learns engine, devs make some coding, dev leaves because they're a contractor. And then the cycle repeats, and the game takes fucking 20 goddamn years, and it still comes out the other end being fucking shit. I can't imagine they're saving much money either with how many contractors they have to go through. And to be fair, this is the only Halo Infinite thing that I know of for sure. But I'd imagine it's probably a similar thing with other companies, because why else would they have all these issues? I just don't really get it. I'm not a game programmer. I don't really know how to code. So that could be a reason why I don't understand why this is really difficult. But at the same time, motherfuckers can make working games in 2012 when there was less technology and things were worse. So why is it more difficult now, especially when the consoles are way better? The Xbox 360 and PS3 were dog shit, okay? They were bad. They were bad up until the PS4 and Xbox One, and still, the PS4 and Xbox One were underpowered for the time. But the Xbox 360 and PS3, both terrible systems on a performance level, but like, they still made games that worked. It was literally more difficult. Why is it hard? I don't understand. But Overwatch 2 removing PvE is actually terrible. I really wish they just, you know, actually made it and kept developing it. I really don't know why they canceled it. Just make it. Just make it a thing. I don't understand. They also put out a roadmap of like what they're adding and when. And when I first saw this, I was like, oh, this is kind of a lot of content. But then I read that it's season 5, season 6, and season 7. This is too little content for a whole season. Like, this is like a year cycle. This is all they're adding. The thing that I don't get the most is, look at Fortnite. Fortnite has been adding content for so long, and they are still going and making money. They are still making so much fucking money. Just copy Fortnite. Like, season 5, you got a limited time event. Okay, cool. You got Mischief and Magic, whatever the fuck that is. You got cinematic reveal. Ooh, cinematic reveal. You got the summer games. I like the summer games, but it's like, make more content, please. And you got like a couple game modes making a comeback, and then the creator workshop mode, like whatever. And then season 6, a whole nother 3 to 4 months out, is story missions, new support hero, flashpoint, and hero mastery, which is like, I guess, a shooting range thing, which they already have, which I'm kind of interested what this is, just because like they already kind of have a mode like this. I don't know what that is. And then season 7 is gonna have a new tank hero, new collaboration, blah blah blah, just a bunch of weird shit. Oh, Roadhog rework. Really? You guys have that in a roadmap for fucking a year out? Seriously? But the PvE, there's too much. It's just a shame that Blizzard is ruining this game for no reason at all. It's like, did you guys really already give up on it? I guess we just have to wait for Valve to swoop it and save us with a new game like they always do, because Valve is the only company that still actually publishes bangers consistently. Like, Valve doesn't release a lot of games, but if they're releasing a game, you know it's a fucking banger. CS2 is gonna be sick. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. Like and subscribe if you're new, and click the end screen to check out more of my content, and have a good one.